times said that felt like this was one of the tougher days for the offensive line, for the offense as a whole. A couple days. What would you how would you evaluate maybe where the struggles came from?
Yeah, I don't. Today was definitely one of our worst days as an offense. And even speaking just personally, I felt like I just, we didn't see it as great today. I just felt like we were moving a little slow, coming off the off day. Just need to bring a little bit more juice next time, and just one play at a time. Just takes one play to kind of get you back going. And I think we could have brought a little bit more energy, a little sluggish today coming in. So we'll watch the tape though and see what it was. There was a lot of stuff just kind of everywhere. There was penalties. There was some missed assignments. There was a couple bad reads by me. There was just a little bit of everything. So we'll have to watch it and see. It's practice. Rather it happen out here and learn from it. And then we're not playing yet, so we got some time to fix it. But we need to address the issues and kind of learn from them.
Do you expect to play Saturday? Do you want to play?
Yeah, yes, I'm expecting to play, preparing myself to play. Not sure exactly what the plan is yet. I think we're still evaluating some stuff, but yeah, I'm ready to go. If so, be excited to get back out there. It's been a while, so anytime you can play, even preseason, it means something to get on that field. So I'll be ready to go if that's the case, and if not, the other guys will be ready to roll.
Going through it the last few years, how much does playing in the preseason kind of help you get ready for week one?
I think it does help, just from the standpoint, especially as a quarterback, you can get hit. It's, all off season and all training camp, you can't get hit. So sometimes there's a different time clock in the pocket. You try to always play it real in practice, but sometimes you kind of hang on to the ball and take a little bit more chances in the pocket because there's no consequences. But when you're live, it's a little different. So it's nice to feel the time clock sped up, to feel the communication with the whole offense, with offensive line, protection, just live full speed reps. I think it is valuable. I think you got to be smart too, though, as far as how much you play and all that stuff. That's for coach and all them to figure out, and for us just to do our job. So I do think there's value though.
The offense comfortable during the scrimmage. How did you come out from that? What did you sort of think of the offense in general performance?
I thought we operated really smoothly. I think it was still left a couple plays out there. That's always going to be the case probably. Not going to play perfect, but I feel like there was a couple plays that definitely left out there. But I think as just an offense overall, we operated clean, not a ton of penalties. Just having the call it mentality, move the ball, playing situational football, that's fun. Practice. You play situations, but they're all in blocks, so sometimes it doesn't always feel like a game because of the flow is just different. So it was nice having the clock moving. Every play is spotted about where it would have gone down. You play every second along, third and short, third and medium. You play all the situations. We got a 2-minute drive in. All those things, it feels a little bit more realistic as far as the game flow. So I thought that was really good. Some stuff to build off of.
Maybe putting today's side, how do you feel that you need to?
I think I've made some huge strides from the spring as far as just the system and being comfortable playing fast, getting through progressions, letting it rip, especially across the middle and anticipating some throws. I think it's been a lot better than the spring. So, I think going into today, I was pleased with just my progress. Not necessarily overall performance, but just getting. I felt like I was really just playing better every day, and I think that's what you want to do. And today, obviously, had a little bit of a rougher day, so we'll have to watch it and just learn from it. And it's the same thing. Even if you don't perform how you want to, you got to learn from it. So, just taking all the coaching points and all the stuff I can from each day and trying to make the corrections the next day and play better.
Is some of that progress with footwork becoming more natural?
For sure. Footwork becoming more natural, tying my feet with my eyes, and then just seeing the concepts, because I've seen it now 3 or 4 times installed. And you feel more comfortable, what the backside's going to look like, what gets you off the front side, and you kind of just play a little bit quicker. But there's still some of that muscle memory that sets in from some of my old footwork and drops and stuff that I just have to continuously just work in Indy and in team drills, and while we're in practice and it's not live bullets flying, this is the time to fix it. And we've made some good progress, but there's a lot more work to do.
How big of a jump can this team make just from maybe getting rid of the dysfunction of last year? We saw it from 21 to 22. It was a pretty big jump, just by getting rid of dysfunction.
I think that's a hard question to answer, to put a specific measure on it. I think that this can be a really good team. I think we're talented. Our schemes are really good. We're well coached. We're still getting better and dialing in on the details, and we need to play cleaner and be better operationally and just, gel more as units. But I really think, not to be cliche, the sky is the limit for this team. I mean, I think, like I said, we're talented, we're well coached, we have a good scheme. You can't speak on the results because we have to go out and do it and we have to perform, but I really feel confident that we'll be prepared come September, whatever, is the first game, and we'll be ready to play. We got a lot of work to do until then, though. Camp's a long time.
With things happening behind the scenes in the building, that affects what happens on the field. Is that safe to say that we've seen that?
Yeah, I mean, there's always things that, in the NFL, it's a crazy business. There's always things going on all the time. So you try to compartmentalize and do your job and ignore everything else. And at times, when the bigger the distraction, the harder it becomes, but you still have a job to do. And that's the challenge we're all faced with, is to do your job despite everything happening around you. And sometimes it's easier than others, but that's our job, and we got to do it.
What have you seen from the 3 rookie running backs?
They've been awesome. I think all 3 of them have had days and spurts where they've played really well, and then also as rookies, learning the system isn't easy, and they've done a nice job in the protections and knowing what to do and who to pick up. But they've all made plays, running the ball or out of the backfield catching it, making plays down the field. They've all had their plays. So we got a lot of options, a lot of great options, a lot of them bring on. So we got some juice in the backfield, which I'm excited about.
Trevor, for the short time you're going to be out there on Saturday or whatever time they're going to give you, what do you want to see out of yourself and what do you want to see out of the offense against Pittsburgh?
Just to play clean, no penalties, operation, in and out of the huddle quick, get up to the line, communicate, just play clean ball and execute whatever's there. Obviously the plan, not as much game planning when you're talking about preseason games, so not sure exactly the plan as far as what we're going to do, but whatever it is, it's stuff we've done all training camp, I'm sure. So just execution at a high level.
Because you also, Coach Cole mentioned the penalties even today.
Yeah, just clean up that stuff. It's stuff you can control, right? This game's hard enough playing against all these great players, these great teams, and when you beat yourself with pre-snap penalties and not lining up right, or little stuff, maybe it's a can that I go the wrong way on because I didn't see it right or whatever. That's stuff that you can control. So if we can be damn near close to 100% on those, it's just going to put us in position to make more plays and have to be more successful when the ball is done.
Friday night was the best combination yet with you and Ryan Thomas Jr. Frustration a little bit on Sunday and before that. Where are you right now with Ryan?
Yeah, this is something where timing with receivers is so important. Chemistry, that connection, all that stuff, and then when you change offenses, it kind of resets a little bit because there's new routes and there is some carryover for sure. Everyone does similar things, but just the communication and talking. I think we've made some big steps since the spring, and you got to think too. We didn't get to play a full season together, so we've been trying to build that and be just in lockstep and always know each other's thinking. And when we get those one-on-ones, making all those plays, giving them opportunities, always giving them a chance to get his hand on the ball. And there has been some frustration, I think, from both of us, and just offensively, because there's been some where, I might miss a throw, I might not make a contested catch, maybe they push coverage to him. And there is days where it's a little frustrating, and that's stuff you work through in practice. And we both expect a lot out of each other, and I think that's the cool thing about our relationship is we expect to make all those plays. So it's frustrating when you don't. And like I said, we just got to keep working it and he's such a great player. Just keep giving him all the opportunities and putting the ball somewhere where he can get it, and always giving him a chance is really important.
What have you seen from Britton Strange? It seems like he's really come on in the last 10 practices.
Yeah, I think just the same thing, more comfortable in the offense, playing faster, understanding what we're doing. And that's for all of us. And you seeing him quicker, getting the ball to him in some different scenarios where maybe in the spring I was not dishing it to him and getting backside or doing whatever. I think getting more comfortable seeing him in different spots in this scheme and knowing what to expect, how he's going to run certain routes. And I love Britton, man. I've always loved how he plays. Plays really hard. He's a really good blocker. And then what he can do in space, too. He doesn't get enough credit for how good of a route runner he is. And very physical, great after the catch. So he's going to be a problem for us.
I was going to say, are you seeing more from him this year, now that he is being thrust sort of more in that receiving role?
Yeah, I think just given more opportunities, you see more. Before, we had Evan, and Evan had been here and been very productive. He's an older, veteran player. And Britton's kind of behind him, learning from him, and so he just didn't get the same amount of opportunities. And now he's looked at as the guy, the matchup at tight end, to go make plays in the passing game, and he does a great job, especially with all he's asked to do between that and the run game. tight end is a crazy position. Those guys they're beasts, you know, physical, and they go run 50 yards on the field and come back and block at the end. It's hard to do, and he's done it at a high level.
I know you see it every day in practice, but just since nobody else does it, how excited are you to see Travis in a game setting, just what it kind of looks like with them?
Really excited. I mean, if Friday was a glimpse of it, I'm pretty, or we should all be excited to see him running around out there, wherever it's at on offense, defense, hopefully more offense. Throw one in there for us there. But just the way he plays, energy he plays with, even just little things like interacting with the fans and just the juice he brings into the stadium, like that stuff does mean something, you know, and not everyone necessarily has that personality, but he has something about him that's just, I don't know, it's just special. The way the energy he brings and the energy he plays with and the joy and all that stuff, the way he runs around, like it's fun to watch. It's fun to play with a guy like that. I think he's starting to play a lot faster now that he knows the system. Can play free.
What did you think of the penny? Did I have him out with the penny on?
Yeah, it was interesting.
Because you guys haven't done it
Yeah. He played corner one snap, then came back and had to run like a jet sweep motion. So we've talked about how good a shape he's in, but it's funny just seeing him back and forth. It's pretty crazy. Never seen anything like it.